Hey guys, what's going on? This is Dom with Pie for Life Games, and I'm here with fellow teammate Kyle Jones. And over the weekend, he recently got first place in an Ulti Solemn Judgment tournament. And what deck did you play to win those nice Ulti judgments?
Zoodiac-Eldlich.
And what's your thoughts on the Zoodiac-Eldlich deck?
After playing like 16 rounds with that extravaganza, pretty good. But anyone can play it good or average. It's really hard to play perfect. It's like anytime I would notice any game or time I felt behind, you could trace it back to some very minuscule thing that you might miss. So if you do play this, I recommend you do a lot of play testing with. But if you can play it perfect or near perfect, the deck's just insane. And you can build to counter pretty much anything.
Alright, well said. Let's go ahead and get into the list.
So you have one Whiptail, one Thoroughblade, two Ram, and a Bunny Blast for the zoos. These are just utility. Ram's probably the best one. He has the best stats, but the trap effect doesn't come anymore. And the floating to field's good, but Bunny Blast's floating is a little better because you would rather float to your hand. And it doesn't count much because Book's kind of out of the format now, but being able to negate the Quinglong to negate Dryden would be good, I guess. And then 3 Tankies and a Barrage. Oh, also, if anyone has German Super Rams or a German Bunny Blast, please hit me up so I can have the rest of my zoo cards German.
You heard it here, folks.
And then for Eldritch cards, 2 Golden Lord. You can't play one now that Eldritch decks are popular. 3 Cursed Land, 3 Sanguine, 3 Conch, and 3 Hakero because I took a lot of inspiration from the Ryan Levine 17th place at the LCS last week and just made a handful of changes. I agree with the theory of you can just control the board with Conquistadors, Lords, and Zoos. Then you just need all the rest of your cards to control the graveyard. And also while Eldritch engines are popular in a lot more decks, you want the full big engine to be able to grind with them. And then for the utility cards, which is why this deck's so good, you have 3 Ash, which is the best it's been in a long time now. 3 Ghost Bell, which is the second best hand trap I think behind Ash, and I'm so happy that this card is good again. I love this card. And it covers just a lot of unique things like Sanguines, Servants, and just small random things against other decks like Doodle or Invocation or just a bunch of small stuff, or Lao against Virtual World. Just hits a bunch of different stuff. And then 2 DD Crow for more grave control. Then you got 3 Cosmic for all the control decks that are around this format. 3 Droplets. So a lot of people are incorrect when they're just like, oh yeah, you're going to negate the VFD against Virtual World. You don't need to at this deck. You just play into the VFD because your setting 5 is unironically really broken right now and you just don't care about that. You care about the Chuchie. But it does help just clearing things like sometimes you don't have a zoo and there's just random problem cards like Dragoon, I guess. Although that's really easy for this deck to deal with. And then 3 Ice Dragons because it's good against the Vandy's Ruler against Drytron. And then 3 Ice Dragons, it's insane against every deck that's not Drytron, and it's worth having the 1 dead card against them game 1 to have just a major blowout in every other deck, and it can be an extender even in the mirror match. Being Zoo and Eldritch cards.
Is there anything in the main deck you would change? Or think about changing?
Not right now. I mean, I did build slightly ignorant to Drytron since North America just got the cards Friday, and that is your worst matchup, but I think the main deck's pretty solid.
Alright.
Then the extra is 1 Spider for the lands, 1 Asa, so you can turn your lands into a Asa and get the Zoo Engine online and just control all the Zoo mirrors. If you make Asa, you're just infinitely ahead. Phoenix and Unicorn for utility, mainly through Asa, but sometimes with lands. And then 2 Bow, 1 Kong, 2 Tiger Mortar, 2 Chakanine, and a Trident for the Zoos. That's all you really need. I mean, it's not like back in the day when you played Pure Zoo and you needed 3 of everything. You'll use their utility sometimes, you'll make a Trident turn 1, and the rest will just turn into Zeus most of the time. Sometimes you'll maybe float with Chalk or use Mortar for pushes, but that's it. 1 Vespianato. I wasn't playing this at first, and then my friend Matthew brought it up to me again, and it was just better over all the niche 15th cards you could play, like a Borg some people play, a second Hammer Kong I was trying for a while. It just better, and like axe code like doesn't come up like some people I saw try that. That seems wrong. Like let's just let you have a Zoo Exceed, put it on, push some damage, or like in the mirror when you also summon their Exceed, you can just go put that on, and you just have a ton of damage out of nowhere, and it floats if it's destroyed. And then 2 Zeus, the reason you play Zoo cards in general right now. Then side deck, 3 Cycle Reader. If the ruling stays that it'll be able to counter Benton like it did for the Extravaganza yesterday, this card is just even more insane than it already was. But mainly against the Drytron deck, you need to be able to take out their follow-up, because that's the biggest problem, is just they'll put up a board that's, you can break, but you won't be able to survive their follow-up after you break it. So cards like this just help that a lot. Also, it's kind of niche, but you can put it in against the mirror, and sometimes you'll get both their lords engraved, and you can just snipe both golden lords, and that'll just be game. Because if they don't have lord, then their Eldlich cards do nothing. 3 Nibiru, they should 100% be needle ceilings. If anyone has any, please PM me. Needle Ceiling is way, way better right now. This card is, against a lot of decks, feels unplayable, because now the virtual deck, only deck it was great against is just making Gossip Shadow, and has their Chowfang play. So you just play around or through this. And then Drytron, some people are on the Jesse Cotton from the LCS list with like Ruler, Herald, Eva in hand, which doesn't ever play in this. Some people are on like the Megalith version though, which I think plays a little bit into it. I'm not as familiar with the Megalith version, but that doesn't feel correct. Maybe it is. I just played it because I figured since I didn't have the ceilings, maybe some virtual role players wouldn't be playing the Shadow. I could catch them with it in the spots, or I'd play against just random combo decks coming out of the woodworks that it could have impact against. Then 3 Mistaken Arrest. This card is really good going first against Virtual World, Dogma Invoked, and Dino. They just say pass your turn for the really search decks. So that's good. 3 Torrential, which is nuts right now. I would love to play Needle Ceiling and basically have more of it, but it's really good for a tempo card just because you're playing a lot of control decks right now. It's mainly tempo. And the MVP of the side deck, I've wore this in against almost everything. 3 Dynamiscus. This card just deals with every utility against every deck, and you have sometimes an excess of zoos that you can get value out of, or you can pitch an Eldlich card and then just get that engine going and get actual value out of it instead of just setting, summoning, and making a spider. And it just clears a lot of problem cards, and then it doesn't come as much to you think, but like you can also just revive it as a trap monster and just put additional pressure. And it's just really good.
Alright, so any final words on the deck and how it played for you this weekend?
I like it a lot. I wish I had gotten top 16 in the Extravaganza, but I played awful and just got an invite on Sunday. But winning the Judgment's really good. Didn't like have any trouble at all. I played great on Saturday, and every match just felt super easy. I played a bunch of Eldlich Mirrors, and they were just so fun. This format's so skillful and enjoyable. Everyone should sign up for remote duels wherever they're at, and go and support your locals if they are open, if you feel safe doing so. And just enjoy and share your support for the community, because this format's great, and I think everyone will enjoy it. And if you try this deck, I think you'll enjoy it too.
Alright, well thank you Kyle for showing off your deck, and congratulations again on winning those Judgments, and for getting the invite to remote duel mats. So, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more future Yu-Gi-Oh content, and this is Dom with Pie for Life signing out.